Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia and I upload all kinds of things. Book content, book related, you name it. Can I speak? No. Have I eaten today? No. Which is probably why I'm speaking all gobbledygook. And if you're not new here, then welcome back. Okay, we are here to do a video I've done for the last couple of years and I felt I wasn't even going to do this year. And then I was like, I had FOMO. I've been seeing this, all the creators upload it, and I was like, I actually just want to do it. So we're doing it. This is the mid-year freakout tag. You should be able to find them on my channel in my wrap-up playlist. You will see at least the last one. I'm not sure I think both of them are in there. This is in my Binding 13. Well, my Boys of Thomas cup, and I'm obsessed. Got it from TikTok shop. Perfect purchase I ever did. And we're just going to go through let's just go through the questions because I feel like I can ramble on forever. But let's just quickly start. This wasn't on the questions that I found. However, Ed and Catherine mentioned it, and it was like, how's your reading year going? How's the reading going so far this year? And you know what? I actually think we're in a good place. My goal for the year is 60. Last year was 70, but by the end of the year I was fighting. I was having to work so hard to get to that goal. I was at like 60, something like 1 or 2 in November, and I was like, oh god, and I had to fight. I forced myself to do 24 hours of reading, just so I can get the goal up, and then, yeah, literally hit 70 by like the last week of December, or the week before the last week of December. It was very, very, like, it was tough, and I was going through a slump in December time, as I always seem to do. So another reason as to why I decided to lower my target or my reading goal this year to 60 because I felt like it was more achievable, because clearly that was achievable, just the 70 was harder. So yeah, we have a goal of 60 books and I've read 37. So I'm technically, it says here I'm 62% into my reading goal for the year, which means it says I'm 7 books ahead of schedule, which is very, very good for me, and I'm really proud of myself for even getting there. So yeah, we've read some really good books, maybe not some not so great books, but overall it's been a good reading year so far, and I'm really, really happy with that. So now we're just going to get on with the questions. The questions I got are from Sarah Caroli. I copied them from her description of her video, and I have added one that was mentioned in Ellen and Catherine's one, so it's a mix of other book tag ones, I guess. And so they might be in a slightly weird order, just so you are aware. But we're just going to go through them and all the questions we answered. I'm not really going to be showing up any physical books. I'm just going to talk about them and try and remember to put the picture in when I'm editing. So the first question is, best book you've read in 2025. I couldn't put one here because I can't. I just like too many books. I've liked so many books so far, it's really hard just to pinpoint one book. So I've got 6, because I put 2 together for 2 of them. So the first one I have is Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. These 2 books, I listened to them both as audiobooks, and oh my god, I genuinely thought, because I was reading them as audiobooks, I wasn't going to enjoy them as much as when I read them physically. But oh my god, I was obsessed, and I just felt like, because those books are so chunky, it's going to take me a longer time to read physically, so listening to them works. Have I really listened to much of Taming 7 yet? No, but I will finish it. And it does take me a while to get through them, but I savour them and I love them so much. Then we have Rewind It Back by Liz Tom Ford. This is the final book in the Windy City series. I know we're getting a spin-off one, but it's the final actual book of the Windy City series, and it follows Rio and Hallie. I loved this book. I didn't read it for a video, which is like for the first time of all the books I did not read for a video, but I started it when I was on holiday and I loved it. I just loved Rio and Hallie so much. I honestly missed them already. I just felt like it was the perfect round off for the series, because it's not just about the tow couple, it's about the fan family and the friendships, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. And then we have Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez and Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I read these 2 books very close to each other. I read Say You'll Remember Me, had a break for a fantasy book, and I went straight back into another Abby Jimenez book. And honestly, I loved them both. And then, you know, I'm putting this on there, did not really think I would, but Face Off by Chelsea Curto. I read this book as in my first video of me reading Kindle Unlimited books. Oh my god, I was obsessed. Maverick and Emmy, I just love them. I loved the story of Emmy being the first female hockey player, like one of the first female ice hockey players, and like was in in a team with a bunch of boys, or men, I guess, and she's the only female player, and I loved it. And it was just, I was obsessed with that book. It was so good, so bingeable, so easy to read. Like, I just don't want to put it down. Okay, the best sequel you have read so far this year. I found this really hard because I could have put so many things down. I was like, I had to research the sequel being like the second book in the series, and I was like, no, that's a duology. So I was like, okay, I can do this one. Now, I know this is very, what's the word? I might be one of the minority that thinks this, but I don't care. I love this book so much. I'm saying Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the third book in the Empyrean series, the one that has False Ring, Iron Flame. Yeah, this is the third book. I loved it. I didn't hate Iron Flame, but it wasn't my favourite one I've read. But Onyx Storm, I just loved it so much. I didn't want it to be over. I wanted to continue reading. I actually want to go back to it because we have to wait like 2 years, 3 years in the next one. I'm like, I can't be waiting that long, honey. I cannot be waiting that long. This is where it kind of just doesn't flow because this should have gone before Biggest Surprise, but it hasn't. So I'm just putting it here. Biggest disappointment. So I had to really think about this because I hate to not talk good things about books. What I class as a disappointment is something I thought was going to be like a high rating to me, and I thought this book was going to be like a 5-star. I was thinking I'm going to love it so much. And that was Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. I loved her Kingdom of the Wicked series because it was the first series I read. It was the first fantasy series, first romantic series I read, and it got me into that kind of genre, and so I think that's why I probably loved it so much, because I'm aware that is YA, but supposedly YA, but it just, the Throne of the Fallen just did not hit. I found myself bored at times. I was just reading it to get through it. I literally used it as an audiobook at the end because I was like, I need to get through it. So I was reading it physically, I was reading it on Kindle, I was reading it as an audiobook just to get over and done with, because I didn't love it. There was points where I enjoyed, but I just think it just did not do it for me, sadly. And I look back at it and go, you know what, I really wish I had liked this more than I did. New release you haven't read yet but want to, and I think this goes without a doubt, hands up, saying I haven't read it yet and I need to read it because everyone has raved so many good things about it, and she is my favourite author, one of my favourite authors in the world. It is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I literally have 2 copies of this book. I have the UK hardback edition, and then I want to say it's the Australian, but could be the American copy, or the paperback version of Atmosphere, and because I bought that in Paris, because I'd rather read paperback one. So yeah, and I bought 2, having 2, and I'm keeping 2 because I know it's going to be one of my favourite books, and I know I'm going to love it because it's Taylor Jenkins Reid. She hasn't failed me once. I say this, I didn't love Carrie So To His Back. Didn't love it as much as her other books. Like, I loved Seven Husbands. I loved Daisy Jones. Like, that is literally my personality. Don't get me wrong, I DNF'd Malibu Rising because I couldn't get into it. Oops. But I just don't think I'm going to have anything against Atmosphere. I just can't wait. That is like one of those ones I need to read like ASAP. And most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I was going to say Love Arranged by Lauren Asher, but I haven't even read Love Unwritten. I'm literally staring at it right now. I have to remember what it's called. I haven't even read that one yet. So I don't think I can put that on there because I know even if I get it, I'm not going to read it for a while because I need to read the second one first. So, take that what you wish, what you will. So I put Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings because the only book I have not read of hers is Never. But I have read all of her books other than that, all the Magnolia Park series and The Conditions of Will, and I loved The Conditions of Will. That was my test to see if I liked any other book series apart from the Magnolia Park, the Magnolia Universe, like that series. I was thinking, if I like The Conditions of Will, that's a test. And I loved it. I was obsessed with The Conditions of Will. There's a way Jessa Hastings writes that I just can't tell you that makes me want to pick up her books. So the way she was releasing snippets of like teasers for the book like announcement for Time of Your Life, I'm like, yes. And the vibes it's giving is giving the vibes that I need. Next one is Biggest Surprise. I have 2 for this. First one is actually a book I never thought I'd pick up again. I never thought I'd pick the series back up because of and then not like the third book in the series. But I picked it up for my 24 hours of reading, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually really good. I was hooked on it. And it happens to be Twisted by Emily McIntyre. This is the 4th book in the Never After series. It follows Yasmin and Javier, I think it was. I might be wrong, but names I've forgotten. But it's an Aladdin retelling where you're rooting for Jafar. And I was hooked. I was obsessed. And then another one I was really surprised that I liked is the Zodiac Academy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm really wishing I didn't like it, because then I wouldn't have to continue for 9 books. There's so many freaking books, and they're all quite long. But I actually really enjoyed Zodiac Academy. I read this the first 2 books, my Kindle Unlimited video, and I was hooked. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. Tori and Darcy, Darius, Seth, Caleb, Max. I was so surprised that I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say like it's my favourite series, but I actually really enjoyed it. I loved it. Next one is favourite author, debut or new to you, and I put, because it was really hard, because a lot of the books I've read this year, apart from Zodiac Academy, are from authors I've already read from before, so I had to choose one I hadn't. And don't get me wrong, I didn't love the second book in the series, but I did like her writing, and so I put Chelsea Curto. When I say I didn't love it, it's not I hated it. I did enjoy Power Play, which is the second book in the DC Star series. However, I just think if it was shorter, I'd have loved it a lot more. I think it was so long for what it was, but I enjoyed it, and I do enjoy her writing style. I really enjoy it, so yeah. So Chelsea Curto has become one of my new favourite authors, and I cannot wait to read this next one, which I think is Slapshot. So that's something I need to read soon. Okay. Next one is newest fictional crush. I have 2. Probably could have done way more, but I thought I would just try and stick it with 2 of them. And it's Isaiah from Play Along, because that man, he is the epitome of damn bad. This guy is damn bad for Kennedy from like the moment he meets her, as we already knew from like previous book, Caught Up. But like seeing their story was just fantastic, and I love Isaiah and the way he was, and then when he was. I don't know if it's a spoiler. Is it a spoiler saying he's scared of thunderstorms? It was just... Oh, I loved it. I just loved him. And then another one was Saviour from Say You'll Remember Me. To be fair, the guy from Just for Someone, I can't remember his name, which is really bad at me, but I also loved him. But Saviour from Say You'll Remember Me, again, he is the epitome of showing that if he wanted to, he would. I loved him. He made himself sick to keep travelling to see Samantha and everything else, and it was just beautiful. The story he's I'm not saying beautiful, not when being sick, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, next one is book that made you cry. Well, I think it's 3 books that I put here. One of them is No Surprise. The first one is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. It made me cry just because of what happened near the end. Like, I'm not going to say what happens, but there's things that happen near the end, and it kind of goes to the roller coaster. Like, it's just all one... Is it roller coaster? What's the thing? Or like... Oh, I don't know. But it happens, one thing happens and another thing happens, another bad thing happens and another bad thing happens. It just keeps going. And it's just so emotional and it's so hard, and I just found it... I was on the train whilst reading that part, and I cried. I was crying. And he cried on the train. I was like, okay, yeah. So, loved it. And loved it, but also it made me cry. And then Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, which is quite obviously the reason. I think if you've read those books, you'll know. They are very emotional books. I think the first 2 are very emotional, but these 2 are like groundbreaking emotional, like very, very raw. And currently, Joey and Aoife are my favourite Reddit couple and my favourite books because of how raw it is and how like the stuff you hear about Joey, I just like my heart breaks. Like he's going through the shit like with his family, but then like Aoife, the way she is and how much she cares about Joey and that family is just my heart broke throughout the whole thing. I just can't. I actually think about it, making me want to cry. Like it was just book that made you happy. I actually have 3. The first one is Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This book actually I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was my it's not... I don't know if it's my favourite though out of the 4. Because I actually really loved Swift and Saddled, and I think that's my favourite, and I think I'm going to have to up the rating for that because I rated Lost and Lassoed 5 stars. But I definitely think Swift and Saddled is my favourite. However, Lost on the Scene is, like, if you know me, you know I love the kind of like nanny and single dad trope in some ways, and I just loved, because it was Teddy and Wes, and Teddy and Gus. Wes was the second one. Teddy and Gus, and like they don't like each other, and they, you know, it's just angst. Oh my god, I was obsessed. And then I have my reread of Heartless by Elsie Silver. Similar premise, nanny and single dad trope. More for single dad because the mum is not actually helping in this. Mum is not even involved in this child's life. But I reread it for a video that's coming up, or has, I don't know when this is going up. Whenever, it might be up before this or after this. But I reread Heartless and I loved it again. A second time reading it, and I was obsessed. I loved it so much. And it made me smile again. Like, it felt like I was reading it for the first time, even though I knew what was happening and I knew what was coming. Then finally, a book that really I'm surprised I put on here, because I did DNF it before Christmas last year. But it is Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. I read this in my last 24 hours of reading that you can go check out. And I was very, very surprised at how much I loved this book. Or really enjoyed this book. Part of me thinks it's because I've now got into my F1, like watching F1 on a weekly basis when it's on. And like, I've actually become obsessed to the point where I'm going to the F1 movie next week. I have F1 t-shirts. I also am getting a McLaren shirt, which I'm so excited for. Like, that's probably why I liked it more, because I actually understood the book a lot more than I did last year. Okay, this is the only one that I'm going to show you physically, but it is the most beautiful book you bought this year or received. I didn't buy it. My friend was giving away books, and so I was like, oh yeah, I saw it, I was like, I actually really want to read it. I've heard some things about it, so I was like, yeah. And I think out of all the books I've got in it, it's the most beautiful one I've got, especially this year. And it is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. Is it the Fairy Loot edition? Yeah, this is the Fairy Loot edition. Now, I do not own, and this is the only book I own that's Fairy Loot. I've never, ever, ever had a Fairy Loot book before, because I don't sign up for that. But I am very well aware that they do some beautiful covers. Like, this is like a dust jacket. This is the sprayed edges. But if you take the dust jacket off, like, look how gorgeous that is as well. It is stunning. And the artwork inside, and also it is signed by the author, which is lovely. So yeah, I think this is probably my most beautiful book, and I actually really, really want to get to it soon, but it's not on my list. It's like on the wrong TBR for me to pick up, but I do want to get to this soon because it just seems interesting, and the cover's just gorgeous. I love it so much. So yeah, most beautiful book I own. The next one is what books do you need to read by the end of the year. So I'm going to look at my 25 books of 2025 on my book journal. It's not updated, by the way, because I haven't updated it since, well, I've updated up to April in this part, but not the rest of the months on here. But let's have a look. I feel like I've not read much of this apart from that one. 17 I haven't read out of the 25 books. I need to get rid of, I've unhauled the Caravel series because I just know I don't want to read it. So I've actually unhauled those books and I'm not going to read it. So I have Legendary on here and I need to change it. So I might change it to Atmosphere because I know I'm going to read it. But we'll see. But let's just read the ones I've got to read still. So 17 books. Let's go. We've got Rewitched by Lucy Jane Whitwood. Thrive by... Did I do this before I read it? Because I'm trying to think if there's another book I have called Thrive. Because it was Thrive by Kristen and Rebecca Ritchie, I'm pretty sure I put on here. But then I read that before Christmas. So I'm going to say Addicted After All, because that's the next book in the series. Belladonna, Just for the Summer. Which, actually, no, I don't know. Let's go back. Rewitched, Thrive, Belladonna, Hello Stranger by Catherine Center, Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas, Love Unwritten, Daydream. So Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, Daydream by Hannah Grace, Off to the Races by Elsa Silva, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, Legends and Lattes, I don't remember the author, sorry. The Striker by Anna Huang, Technically Legendary by Stephanie Garber, Assistance to the Villain by, don't know the author's name, but Assistance to the Villain, King of Greed by Anna Huang, Unsteady by Peyton Corrine, Technically, I put The Cat / Set on You, because Set on You is technically the first book in the series. I have X's, like the standalones. I have X's and O's and A Catch. I do not have Set on You. Don't know why. Don't think I was ever interested in that. And then When the Moon Hatched by Sarah J. Parker or Sarah Parker. Sarah something Parker. Sarah A. Parker. I don't know. They're the books I need to read before the end of the year. Next one is, how many 5-stars have you read this year? Well, I have actually read 11 5-star reads. 11. That's quite a few 5 stars, which I'm so surprised at. I'm not the most criticising person, but I also know when I feel like something's a 5-star is when I can't stop thinking about it. I'm hooked on it. I'm emotionally drawn to it. So yeah. So I'm just going to go through. Majority of the ones I'm pretty sure I would have spoken about already. But we have Rewind It Back by Liz Tom Ford. We've got Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Then we have my 2 rereads, Heartless by Elsie Silver, Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Then we have Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh. Then my other reread of Daisy Jones and the Six. Then Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. Lost and Lassued by Lola Sage. I'm actually going to say I have 10 because this one I only rated 5-star because I don't really rate them non-fiction, but I'll say it anyway. Buy Yourself Some Damn Flowers by Tam Kerr. That will make it up to 11, but I don't tend to rate non-fiction, but it's just, I don't know what to rate it. So, and to put it in my things that I've read, I had to rate it, apparently. I don't know if I had to, but yeah. Anyway. Say You'll Remember Me by Amy Jimenez. Just for the Summer by Amy Jimenez. And those are my 5-star reads. And out of the 37 books, I don't think that's actually that many. But it's still quite a few compared to some people, but that's that. Oh my god, I'm so sniffly. I mean, partly I need to eat, partly because it's hot. Anyway, what books do you want to reread this year? I have 4. I've already done quite a few rereads this year, but I've got another 4 that I kind of want to. Technically, one is a 5-book series, but... And actually, technically, when I say this one, I actually want to read the whole series again, so that's more than one. But Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I just miss this series so much, and now I don't know what I'm going to do. What I'm waiting for Jessa Hastings to release is an announcement that she's releasing the next Daisy Hates book. But no, she hasn't done that yet. She just keeps announcing other books. But when's the Daisy Hates book coming, Miss Jessa? Miss Jessa, please tell me when is the next Daisy Hates book coming. I need to know, like, now. I'm waiting. But yeah, Magnolia. I really want to reread the Magnolia Park series just because, including the Daisy Hates books. I want to give the second Daisy Hates book a second chance because I didn't like that one as much. The next one is, out of all the Twisted series books, I want to read Twisted Games again. I miss Bridget and Reese. I miss them. I watched Bella Therese, I don't know how you say that last name, she's Australian. An Australian booktuber and booktuber, and she did a video where she reread like 3 of her favourite books. She reread Twisted Games and she was like doing a spoiler video, and I was like, I really miss that. I really miss the series. I want to read that book again. So yeah, Twisted Games. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I was actually meant to reread this last year and I didn't. And I can't remember the reason why. I just didn't. And then finally, the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. I just love the series and I miss it. I have the whole 5 books in one on my bookshelf and I really want to go back and reread it. Okay, and then a book you enjoyed that was mixed reviews. Well, I definitely think... Sorry, my TV's not doing something. I think the book that I enjoyed that had mixed reviews is Say You'll Remember Me by Amy Jimenez. Because so many people didn't like that book. And I kind of get it, as I mentioned earlier, but so many people did not like this book. But I just loved it. I was just obsessed. So yeah, Say You'll Remember Me. And finally is 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. So I've got 4. And it's Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. I've heard people not like this one as much. And listened to it so far. I can understand. But I'm going down my streak of knowing in my head that it's going to be a 5-star. It might not be, but I'm only like 20-something% into listening to it, so. Then, this is like quite an obvious one I thought I'd put there. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm sorry, but I don't see it being anything like lower. It might be, but I'm hoping it won't be. I think it's going to be a 5-star. Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, because it's a Jessa Hastings book. Like, Conditions of Will was so close, and I can't remember why I did not give it a 5-star, but so close. And then finally, I am actually going to be reading this very soon, like straight after The Great Big Beautiful Life, but I really think it's going to be a 5-star. It's The Favourites by Laing Fargo. Sorry about that book. I've been waiting to read it for so much and I'm so excited I'm going to be reading it, like, very, very soon. Because, yeah. And so that technically is the end of the questions, although Ellen Catherine had another one. I was like, favourite thing about your channel this year. So I'm kind of put it in here as my little way to acknowledge my channel, because I feel like I can. And I'm going to say, I feel like this year I've definitely been trying out new things with my channel, new videos. Also with, like, quality, like, I got a microphone, like, things that I wouldn't have done before. Like, I'm not saying I'm going anywhere drastic to change my channel to make it better, but I am doing small things. I think I'm getting better with editing. I also think I'm getting better at knowing what I can and can't do, and I'm really enjoying, like, slowly growing a small community. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not that high in subscribers. I know I'm not. I'm very low compared to some other booktubers, but also I think any subscriber is an achievement. I actually don't do this because I want to do it. I mean, it would be great to have it as a job, do not get me wrong, but I actually do this because I love to do it. Like, I love chatting to my camera, I love chatting to technically you guys who was watching it about books that I'm reading, like, and I love to maybe hop on some trends, but I just love it. I feel like it's just such a good community to be part of, the booktube community, because I started my YouTube doing uni vlogs when I was at university, but obviously I left university and I came out and had no clue what to do with it, because at that point I did not read. And then I started reading and I was like, you know what, now I've started reading and actually enjoying reading, I'm actually going to start turning it into a booktube, and I'm so happy I have. Like, I remember I was looking back at old videos the other day and I was scrolling through and I was like, you can see the change when I actually moved to doing booktube consistently, and I'm so happy I did, because even if it's a small following, it's still something, and I'm so grateful for it. So, and I look forward to coming home and knowing I have to film a clip for a video because I read in my lunch breaks, or I have to come home and edit, or I get to come home and film a video, or on the weekend I get to sit and film like this. Like, last night I went to bed going, okay, I'm filming a video in the morning, and I was so excited. So, yeah, I just think I get a chance to do so. Like, social media is something you can just easily pick up and do, so I feel like knowing that I can just pick up my camera and vlog and film means so much to me, and I'm so grateful that I can do it. And if anyone watches these videos, I'm really grateful for you watching, and yeah. But anyway, that's a ramble. If you did enjoy this video, I'm now ending it now. Am I okay? If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and I will see you again very soon on another video.